pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
From the deserts of Nevada, we are bringing you this week the Western States Racing League Season 46 Spring Session, Tuesday night, Championship Week from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Everybody this week in the Western States Racing League on the grid tonight, but the five most excited people are Bentley Glazer, Kyle McCartney, Jeff Schmeier, Bob Beltrami, and Brian Barnes, as Bentley Glazer looks to solidify his championship run this season. And I'll tell you what, at this point of the evening, everybody getting ready for qualifying down on pit road. The nerves are getting a little deeper as we get closer to that green flag. Welcome to ESBN, and I'm Dave Regal alongside my partner in crime tonight, Tony Trapasso. And Tony, it has been a long season, but worth every minute of it, as everything is culminating to this moment.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, we've seen a lot of ups and downs this season, but one thing that's remained constant is defending series champion Bentley Glazer having a pretty darn successful run so far in his third consecutive title defense, as I believe he clinched last week, didn't he?
It should be a clincher last week. I unfortunately was not here in the broadcast booth with you, but speaking of Bentley Glazer, taking a look at him right now, wrapping up his qualifying effort tonight, as he has gotten himself on the pole yet again. And you know, Tony, I'm always impressed when it's a fixed setup like this, how good these guys are.
you sometimes forget that it's a fixed setup with just how quickly some of these guys can get around these facilities. And let me just pull up point standings on my end. So my little cheat sheet's telling me Kyle McCartney's only 29 points back coming into tonight.
He is, and Jeff Schmeier only 55 points. So I'm pretty sure that kind of leaves things open, at least for McCartney, no?
McCartney's got a shot at it. Schmeier's another 26 points back. He's got to hope Bentley plays. If both of them have to finish, I hope Glazer finishes very deep in this field tonight. I'm looking, looks like 24 trucks here tonight. So Glazer's got to have problems early for either McCartney or Schmeier to have a shot at this one.
And you and I both know all too well that Bentley Glazer almost untouchable once he hits that clean air in front of these packs.
Yeah, pretty much so. But I mean, the good news is full fuel loads tonight, 4 sets of tires to get it done, 1 fast repair, no DQ limit. Talk about boys have at it style racing.
Yeah, this definitely sets things up to basically make this thing no holds barred tonight, especially, with only those few points separating Bentley Glazer and Kyle McCartney. And Kyle McCartney now out here for his opening lap as he gets ready to come through the turn 4 area. And we see him cross the start-finish line now and begin his qualifying effort. I'll tell you what, Tony, I mean, all season long we've been watching these drivers go at it. And, this has to be probably the most organized league as far as, getting their act together. Nobody's really out here duking it out, hammer and tongs until very deep in the race. None of that early on, kind of caution festival activity, as these guys are absolutely at the top of their game when it comes to performing out here on the track. And Ross Rawlings...
I turned my mic on, doesn't it? It goes back to what we've been talking about all season with the average iRating of your normal top 10 finishing order here being north of 3,000. This is top split stuff. If you were...
Tony must be having some microphone issues there as his microphone just cut out, but he's absolutely right, and I think I can finish this thought for you, Tony. This is absolutely top split stuff. I mean, for those of you that are new to iRacing or just an observer, top split means that in public races, everybody is separated by an iRating. There you are. Welcome back.
Yeah, I just threw put.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
I had that problem yesterday. Let's not have that again.
Well, it is update day here in lovely iRacing land.
Yeah, I actually had a problem with the interface between iRacing and OBS, trying to get the video stream working earlier that John decided to get me some help with earlier. Kind of interesting. It was a new one.
All right.
Basically, the way that it was laid out, if I clicked Discord to put Discord over top of OBS, it dragged my frames per second in iRacing down to 40. It was fabulous.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then all I had to do was shift the windows around, bada bing, bada boom, there it is.
Well, there you go then.
Keith Kelman now out in the middle of his second lap, posted 18th fastest so far. So actually, when I say fastest, I mean slowest as far as cars that have already qualified this evening. As he crosses the start-finish line, looks like he will not improve that position at this point in the evening. Will Fletcher now in the number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford taking to the track as he gets wound up for his opening lap of his qualifying effort.
Don't mind me, I'm still logging back in.
Oh, okay. So you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Absolutely not. I'm staring at a picture of the front stretch at Las Vegas right now. And a status bar that says 50%.
Speaking of the front stretch at Las Vegas, this is the 50th anniversary of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, as it was originally called the Stardust International Raceway and was originally opened as just a drag strip and road course. Of course, oval's coming much later in its history, but obviously now oval has become the bread and butter here of this facility in Las Vegas. And, you know, from all accounts, it seems like Las Vegas has to be an amazing place to watch a race from, no?
It depends. The thing is, you got to be careful, because I remember the last time I was here with a racing team, between the time we stepped off the jetway coming off the plane and the time we left baggage claim, our car chief dropped $400 in one-arm bandits.
I feel like that's a problem. I'm just saying.
You think?
I mean, to be fair, if you stay away from the one-arm bandit, it doesn't take your money.
Right, but the entirety of the airport is lined with them.
Huh. Well, something to look forward to. Something else to look forward to tonight, at least here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jeff Schmeier back in the Double Deuce Reformation Brewery Ford F-150, laying down his first qualifying lap, and we'll see where he drops this one. As waiting for... Interesting. He has qualified 21st after his first lap, so hopefully this one is going to go a little bit faster as Schmeier in that hunt there, but pretty far back. But right now in third position, 55 points behind Bentley Glazer. You know, something that you were just saying earlier, Bentley Glazer would have to finish deep. It's just, I don't think it's in the cards tonight.
We've seen him have issues before. Schmeier up to 8th on his second lap.
That leaves just Jerry Sterner and Angelo Espo to qualify yet. Everybody else in tonight's field, all 21 so far, have qualified. And these drivers, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be giving up anytime soon.
Probably not.
I mean, even here, you know, it's championship week. Even if you're not one of the drivers vying for that also coveted championship spot, I mean, you're still out there trying to finish the season off with a good finish or win altogether. Speaking of finished, qualifying has completed. So let's take a look at the grid that we will be seeing load up now. Tony, looks like Cole Woody going to be sitting on the pole, and on his outside, Ross Rawlings. Row 2, Wayne Hutchison and Will Fletcher in the number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford. Bentley Glazer in the number 87 Gatorade Chevrolet, and Rob Gall are featured on row 3. Row 4, Jeff Hollingsworth and Jeff Schmeier. Pair of Jeffs there in row 4. Bob Beltrami and Paul Crumry make up row 5. And Bob Beltrami in that Beltrami Salami Toyota Tundra, running 4th right now in your season standings. Tony?
Tom McCartney and Eric Woods going to roll off in row number 6. Row 7 gives us Fred Williams and Brian Barnes. David Weaver and Charles Woods going to start in row number 8. Row 9 brings us Javier Perez Torres and Dennis Fusan. Julian Ricci in the Ace is going to be starting with Earl the Ace Weaver in row number 10. Row 11 sees Keith Kellman and Big Daddy himself, Carl Burke, Angelo Espo, and Jerry Sterner starting shotgun on the field in row 12. 24 trucks scheduled to roll off here tonight. Unfortunately, I don't see Burke or Steiner in the field right now. They're not even in the session. So 22 trucks scheduled to roll up here tonight.
Kyle McCartney has still not gotten in his truck.
I've noticed this.
He should be lined up right behind Bob Beltrami here.
He still has a little bit of time left.
Not much. Folks, just so you all are aware, there's McCartney. Woo! That was getting a little nervous now. Fusan blinking in and out. just so everybody's aware, this week is what's commonly referred to as Week 13 in the iRacing.com servers, and that means that a giant update was just posted. So there's a lot of computers that are trying to digest a lot of data really fast, and of course, then we have these gentlemen out here getting ready to run it through at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Absolutely, but so far, knock wood, as I bang on my desk, that the servers haven't taken the 4 times a year dump that they normally take on update day. Thank goodness. But Cole Woody, I dare say this is the first time we've seen him this season, isn't it?
You know what? I am going to do some research while you do that, and we get ready for Green Flag Racing.
As the field works its down the Nellis back straightaway behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. A Ford, a Chevy, and Toyota, 1, 2, and 3. Cole Woody, Ross Rawlings, and Wayne Hutchinson going to roll it off as the field works its way into turn number 3. This is his debut race, okay. So we are ready to get it turned loose here at Vegas. The only thing left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab a slot machine and settle in, because it's time to get it on in Sin City. Race fans, it's show time!
And with that, the green flag waves, Cole Woody takes off, and we are underway in championship week here in the Western States Racing League. Cole Woody gets to the inside of Ross Rawlings right now. Ross Rawlings dropping single file behind him as Wayne Hutchison and Will Fletcher looking to get just in line behind him. Bentley Glazer, however, looking to the inside, not willing to be sitting as far back as he is right now in 5th position, as this is his championship week, and he definitely wants to be finishing off the championship season atop the pile.
3 wide coming through the front chute. Bob Beltrami was the meat in that sandwich for a second. Luckily, Jeff Hollingsworth wisely backing out of it. But Glazer looking to get his 3rd consecutive championship here in the Western States Racing League, as that is an angry pack of wolves behind Brian Barnes to round out your top 10.
And Brian
Hollingsworth and Schmeier go side by side.
And not only are Hollingsworth and Schmeier side by side now, but they were just split in half by Brian Barnes in the number 4 NASCAR Hall of Fame Toyota Tundra. I'll tell you what, everybody's hungry tonight, and we've seen this over the last couple of weeks here in the Western States Racing League, where these drivers starting to get hungrier and hungrier. As we used to see guys being a little bit more conservative earlier on in races, but these last few weeks, as we've wound the season down, have really heated up, especially early on in the race. Taking a look now at Charles Woods in the number 40 United States Postal Service Chevrolet, chasing down Kyle McCartney, as McCartney getting ready to take it 3 wide almost. Wisely gets back down against the white line as they cross the start-finish line, as he is chasing Paul Crumry and Jeff Hollingsworth.
Meanwhile, up in the top 5, Bentley Glazer kind of hung out on the top side, getting freight trained on the low side. And that is Will Fletcher working his inside. Wayne Hutchinson just worked his way past. As here comes Fletcher again, and Barnes looking to go with him. There's the 31 of Rob Gall right there within striking distance as well. And Glazer just kind of laying back right now, not wanting to push the issue, as they're side by side in front of him. That's Fletcher and Hutchinson almost banging fenders coming through the tri-oval.
And Rob Gall in the 31 starting to work that Fujifilm Chevrolet on the inside of Glazer now. And you know what? I gotta agree with you here, Tony. I mean, Glazer looks like he is going to hang up here on the high side, maybe give those tires a little bit of a cool surface to run on, and not chew them up so much. And something that we've seen over and over again in this league is Bentley Glazer able to save those tires, and even once those tires fall off, still able to outdrive a lot of these gentlemen out here tonight.
Well, here's the thing, as far as the weather goes, you're talking about cool conditions. The truck temperature has cooled off 20 degrees from when they qualified. 77 degree ambient air temperature, 80 degree track temperature. That's some of the most cool conditions we have seen here in Vegas in a long time. As Gall working the inside of Glazer right now, coming through 3 and 4. Everybody pretty strung out in front of them. But it's an angry pack of wolves right behind them, with Schmeier and Hollingsworth running stem to stern.
And speaking of the angry pack of wolves, Javier Perez Torres had laid down a 30.77, and Dennis Fuson, the new fastest truck in this race, working the outside right now of Fred Williams, has just laid down a 30.76. And meanwhile, Bentley Glazer and Rob Gall going at it hammer and tongs right now. Jeff Schmeier hanging back, waiting for someone to make a mistake, gets single file behind Glazer as they run past the start-finish line here on lap number 8 now at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And folks, if you are just joining us, we want to welcome you into the ESPN broadcast booth. I'm Dave Riegel, and my partner in crime is Tony Trapasso. If you are watching us, make sure that you subscribe to the ESPN feed here on YouTube.com. Turn on those bell notifications, as we always have action here on ESPN. And also, hey, listen, in that live chat, give us a shout. Let us know who you're pulling for in this race. As right now, your race leader, Cole Woody, in his debut race with the Western States Racing League, has picked a heck of a night to get the pole and a 0.3 of a second lead over Will Fletcher.
And how many times have we seen somebody come into this series and have a very good opening race? Ross Rawlings, when he made his debut, ran up front. Sorry?
No, that's exactly what I was thinking of, Ross Rawlings.
Yeah, I mean, same thing happened with the 91. But right now, Woody, Fletcher, Rawlings, Beltrami, Barnes, your top 5. As Barnes up 9 from where he started.
Yeah, right now it looks like Barnes is your biggest mover of the night. And you know what? I got to be honest, ever since he's switched away from the popsicle paint scheme and gone to the NASCAR Hall of Fame paint scheme, he has been consistently better. So I don't know if the paint scheme is what's helping him. Maybe that extra shade of blue is making him faster. But he has definitely consistently been in the top 10 all season long and inching closer to that top 5, as he is now looking at the rear of Bob Beltrami in the Beltrami Salami Toyota Tundra. And looks like Aria, the Terror Tabby, says, go Schmeier. And Phil Heatwool wants to know how many laps are running tonight. Phil, we are running, you know what? I don't have the ticker. There it is, 107. Ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. I don't know how I wound up turning the ticker off, but there it is at the top of your screen. Brought to you by Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking. And Tony, this week we've been checking out a couple of different things on Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking. What did you find?
Jamaican jerked oxtail.
I'm a fan. Listen, have you ever had real oxtail?
Yes.
I mean, it is just something so special, because of course it doesn't look like a tail, but I mean, it is just one of the most special pieces of meat you can find. And if it's done just right, that jerk seasoning really takes off.
I would say that oxtail has more flavor than filet mignon does.
You're not wrong at all. I mean, oxtail has, I think it kind of has that I don't know, a stigma, because it says oxtail. You know, kind of like liver, it has a stigma, although it's delicious.
I'll take your word on that one.
You're not a liver and onions guy?
I can't get past the smell.
Oh my goodness. An old Pennsylvania Dutchman one time said, if you don't like the smell, you just put ketchup on it and it tastes delicious, and he was not wrong. There's a diner right up the street from our place here in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. They put like, yes, exactly. They put like a pound of bacon on it too. And you know how I feel about bacon.
You have my attention.
Yeah. They put bacon all over this with onions and liver, and it's just amazing. And speaking of just amazing, Will Fletcher in the number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford, getting ready to try to make a pass for the lead here. Looks to the inside of Cole Woody, but backs off a little bit here, as we're going to see him go single file between Woody and Rawlings. And now backing up a little bit. This doesn't look great for him.
Definitely not what he was looking to do. Lost so much momentum coming off at 2 when he didn't get the pass done. Actually had to chase it a little bit. Rawlings all over his tailgate right now, as Barnes right there as he looks to the top side. Beltrami right there. Throw a blanket over your top 5, as they've got a little bit of a gap back to Wayne Hutchinson in the 23, as he's leading the second charge in front of Rob Gall, Jeff Schmeier, Bentley Glazer, and Jeff Hollingsworth.
And you know what? I'm sure that as we see this night go on, I mean, fans at home, don't be worried about Bentley Glazer. He was absolutely quick during practice, but right now it looks like he is just going into tire saving mode as we are 17 laps in of 107 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And while we have a moment, we are going to step aside and pay some bills here on ESPN.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the racket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series. Okay.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Right now, taking a look at Will Fletcher and Brian Barnes as Brian Barnes working the inside of Will Fletcher here in the Western States Racing League Championship Week at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm Dave Regal alongside my partner in crime, Tony Trapasso. And Tony, it has been a banger of a race so far as Cole Woody in his debut with the Western States Racing League qualifies on the pole and is now opening up a 0.7 of a second gap over Ross Rawlings.
Woody has led all the laps here tonight so far, as we are currently getting ready to put lap 22 in the books. But how about the 4, Brian Barnes, already up 11, sitting in third right now. Bob Beltrami stalking Will Fletcher for fourth. Beltrami already up 4, and he wants another one.
Now with 23 laps in here, what are we looking at as far as pit window opening up here? I'm thinking 45 to 50.
They're probably going to want to get tires before they need fuel.
Fair enough,
This
fair
track
enough.
is notorious for eating up the right front if you're not careful.
Yeah, I think I've experienced that here. I'm definitely a right front tire beater.
And you admit that in public?
Yeah, it's fine. No biggie.
So, yeah, they're probably going to need tires before they come down for fuel, but we shouldn't see anybody coming down before lap 40. I would be greatly surprised. But normally, these races here at Vegas always turn into fuel runs.
Oh, especially, late in the race. Once you take that last set of tires, I mean, at that point, everybody's just watching each other. Who's going to blink first? And I mean, assuming that your fuel holds out, you can stay out as long as humanly possible. Because you got to remember, as a driver, you're sitting there waiting for everybody else's tires to fall off. Meanwhile, yours are falling off too. So, then you're just staring at the fuel gauge. When are we going and how are we doing this?
Pretty much, yeah. And the biggest thing is you want to try to get as much out of that tank as you can because the least amount of times you spend on pit road under green flag conditions, the better. But it's a fine a razor's edge that if somebody does come down for tires before you do, tire fall off already is a second and a half, and you're only 26 laps in.
Well, I would say for WSRL that is pretty impressive. I mean, these drivers, a lot of the times we see go into tire-saving mode, and they can turn 107 laps into a two-stop race, or a one-stop race, that is. And speaking of one-stop, looks like no stops for Kyle McCartney as he is up 3 positions and clawing his way up through the top 10 now, as he has just gotten around Wayne Hutchison in the number 23 Toyota Tundra and Jeff Schmeier in the double deuce. And right now, looks like McCartney is trying to set sail for Jeff Hollingsworth in the number 97 U.S. Coast Guard Chevrolet.
Very much so, as right in front of him, Bentley Glazer looking to the inside of Will Fletcher to wrestle 5th away from him. Fletcher up on the high side, Glazer on the low side finally. He was not happy in that second lane, but he's making the low side work right now. Here comes Fletcher back on the top side. They haul down the nose back straightaway, side by side into turn number 3.
And we see Glazer working the inside, holding that bottom line, now able to slide up almost in front of Fletcher. And Glazer taking the apron a little bit here, trying to get himself just a few hundredth of a second over top of Fletcher. Right now, they are just staying side by side. These two drivers not willing to put an end to this battle. And a lot of times you will see a driver like Glazer, who is right now just trying to get a run on the inside of Will Fletcher. You'll see that driver go single file and reform his attack here. But interestingly enough, Fletcher now being hung out to dry as 97 of Hollingsworth now getting behind Glazer, trying to give him some aero help as they dive into turn 1.
Kyle McCartney right there as well in the Snap-on Tools Toyota Tundra, as they're still not done with this one yet.
No, in fact, Hollingsworth thinks that he's going to try to get around McCartney, and he does. Almost backs up to McCartney's front bumper. Near contact made as McCartney now ready to cut off the... a contact between the 97 and the 18 as McCartney takes a little bit of grass. Not enough, though, to upset the car, and we are still under green here as now Kyle McCartney side-by-side, door handle to door handle with Will Fletcher.
Here comes 22 Reformation Brewery Ford F-150 of Jeff Schmeier, as he is closed right in on McCartney, and they're hanging the 28 out to dry. Fletcher may have gone too hard too soon and burned the right side tires off of that F-150.
Absolutely. And now we see McCartney nice and easy getting in there, but that opens the door up now for Wayne Hutchison to get around Fletcher. And as you had just mentioned, Fletcher may have burned the right sides off of that number 28 F-150. And now we're going to just take a quick peek up here through your top 5. Looks like Ross Rawlings ready to challenge Cole Woody here for the lead. And it looks like he's just forming that battle plan as he gets the inside now of Cole Woody. And just in case you couldn't be more excited, the 91 working the inside of the 24, coming through turn 2 down toward the backstretch. These two guys not ready to give up as they are side by side down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4 now.
They got Brian Barnes for company right there with them in 3rd place in that number 4 NASCAR Hall of Fame Toyota Tundra. And they have pulled out almost a 3/4 second gap with the 3 of them back to Bob Beltrami, who sits in 4th. Beltrami a 1.5 seconds to the good over Bentley Glazer in 5th.
Absolutely, and right now Ross Rawlings not willing to give up on Cole Woody, and we saw Bentley Glazer back here getting himself around Hollingsworth as it looks like he is trying to put, I just lost it, there it is, Bob Beltrami in the crosshairs. And I got to be honest, if I'm Bob Beltrami and I see Bentley Glazer in my rearview mirror, I'm getting a little extra sweat on my hands as we get ready to go into turn 1 again.
Well, you know, those guys have been racing stem to stern all season long. And, you know, I know we've talked about this before. number of drivers in the field with an I rating higher than Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s. 3 tonight.
I mean, if you're going to try
I'm
to
sorry,
be better
4.
than someone,
4 tonight.
if you're going to try to be better than someone, you might as well be better than a Hall of Famer. And right now, it looks like Bob Beltrami, Brian Barnes, Javier Perez Torres, all coming down pit road, as well as Wayne Hutchison now coming off of pit road. Will Fletcher, about a 15-second pit stop, so there was definitely some tires exchanged there.
As we were working lap 36 of 107, Cole Woody has led all 36 laps up to this point. As Rawlings right there just stalking him. Bentley, Glazer, Kyle McCartney have not come down pit road as Hollingsworth, Schmeier, Gall, and Ricci all bring them in. And that is going to promote Dennis Husan into the top 10, up 11, as is the United States Postal Service number 40 of Charles Woods, as he just moved into the top 5.
And, you know, Charles Woods has been there every week this year. You know, and it's just, you can never really get up there into that top 5 onto the podium. But now it sounds like we're going to see Keith Kelman getting ready to come down pit road. Let's see if he does. And he does. Following Angelo Espo, Eric Woods down pit road, Tony.
Absolutely. We are seeing those green flag pit stops start to happen. But little known fact about the driver of the United States Postal Service number 40, Charles Woods, the oldest member of the league.
Is it impolite to ask how old he is?
You know what a sextamentarian is?
Is that? Yeah, that's
7.
7. Huh. He's 70.
North of 70.
No kidding.
And still slugging it out with guys half his age.
Half. I'm pretty sure that some of these guys are less than half his age.
He could probably be a lot of guys in this league's grandfather. As now he brings it down pit side to get service on that Chevy Silverado. Cole Wood stays out. Ross Rawlings stays out, as they are 7 seconds to the good over your current third place Fred Williams in the 95.
And I feel like we're soon going to see Fred Williams come down pit road, as he has not done so yet. Right now, just out there logging laps, and Cole Woody still has not come down, but now it looks like Ross Rawlings, the first to blink there between the top 2 cars in this field tonight. Now we're going to wait to see when Cole Woody decides he's going to come down, as this is definitely going to shuffle things around here in the Western States Racing League Championship Week at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Well, 41 laps into this piece already. If they pit now, you're looking at about a 2-stop race. And Woody is bringing it in.
And here he comes. Looks like Woody going to come in here for 4 tires and take a go fast. As we see him tick, tick, tick down. He has a long drive down pit road, as he, of course, did finish did qualify on the pole. So he has got to get all the way to the end now, as he is now the third to last driver to come down pit road, as Fuson and Williams both have not done so, but I'm sure that we're about to see Williams do just that in a moment.
Absolutely. Cole Woody bringing it into pit to his crew chief, Buzz Lightyear, and the crew, putting 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods and a fresh tank of Go Fast in that Ford F-150, down and away. 15.48 seconds. Not the best stop, but not the worst we've ever seen, as Glazer and Hollingsworth flash by. There goes Schmeier. So that's how big the undercut is here tonight. Brian Barnes, your effective race lead, as Fred Williams peels off to come pit side. The 23 of Wayne Hutchinson is going to drop Cole Woody down to 11th so far, with Dennis Fuson still being the only one that has yet to come back into pit.
Absolutely, and Dennis Fuson right now in the number 11 Tito's Handmade Vodka Chevrolet, leading Bob Beltrami by 25.33 seconds, so nearly an entire lap. as he is chasing down Beltrami, who is just in front of the number 15, driven by Paul Crumrye.
Gorgeous looking truck on Crumrye tonight.
I believe he is the Purple Heart tonight. We're going to take a look there.
That is exactly who he's running for. Purple Heart Homes.
There he is,
One
that
of the,
purple and white with the yellow lettering.
One of the greatest veteran charities that you can donate to is very similar to the Wounded Warrior Project, where they help veterans who have received a Purple Heart or injured in the line of duty a new home or refurbish the home to make it handicap accessible for the veteran.
Absolutely. You know, I could not think of a better driver to be sporting that Purple Heart Homes paint scheme as, you know, Paul Crumrye, just week in and week out, always very polite, very gracious out here on the track. I mean, you know, does not always finish top 10, but
United
certainly
States
finishes.
Air Force veteran.
There we have it. Thank you for your service, Paul Crumrye.
And another noteworthy veteran in the field, United States Coast Guard retired, Jeff Hollingsworth.
Well, that would explain the number 97 U.S. Coast Guard paint scheme, don't you think?
You think?
Just a little. Cole Woody just ran the fastest lap of the race. Your previous race leader now working the inside of Jeff Schmeier. I got to be honest, I hope that Cole Woody doesn't burn those tires off this truck any sooner than he absolutely has to.
Well, from the pace he's been running, bear with me one second because I need to go do a little research as to what is on that truck.
Well, while my partner goes and does some research, we are here on lap number 48 of 107 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm Dave Regal. The other voice that you hear are the beautiful dulcet tones of one Tony Trapasso here with ESPN. And the Western States Racing League Season 46 concludes tonight here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Right now, Bentley Glazer, your points leader, came into the night with about a 26-point lead. 29-point lead over Kyle McCartney. So right now, as long as everything holds out the way it's supposed to be, at least in Bentley Glazer's eyes, looks like Kyle McCartney in the 18 running in 11th position where he had begun this race, and Bentley Glazer in 4th. Next closest driver is Jeff Schmeier in the Double Deuce Reformation Brewery F-150 as he is chasing down Jeff Hollingsworth and Jeff Rawlings. Kind of an interesting knot of cars here to take a look at, and we will get to that just so.
What do you say we step away for a quick break, Dave?
All right, sir.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other.
52 of 107 laps complete here so far this evening at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And just under halfway, green flag pit stops concluded on lap 41 with our race third place running driver right now, Cole Woody, in the number 24 Ford F-150. So looks like they're going to try to make this a 3-stop race, Tony.
Possible. It doesn't make a lot of sense to go that many stops, but no, they could do it in 2. Because we're only doing 107 laps here tonight. Next time we should see them down pit road is somewhere in the neighborhood of 75 to lap 80.
Well, then we'll keep our eyes open in about 30 laps. And so far right now, your race leader currently, Commissioner Bob Beltrami in the number 14 Beltrami Salami Toyota Tundra, followed by Brian Barnes, Cole Woody, Bentley Glazer, Ross Rawlings, Jeff Hollingsworth, Jeff Schmeier, Kyle McCartney, William Fletcher, and Wayne Hutchison round out the top 10.
And Keith Kitzman checking in the live chat, asking you what's up.
What's up, Kevin? Glad to see you here in the Western States Racing League. Kevin Kitzman, of course, the co-commissioner of the Way She Goes Racing League, aired every other Wednesday night on ESPN at 9 p.m. And we see right now Cole Woody and Brian Barnes heating it up as Brian Barnes working the outside of Cole Woody, but Cole Woody looking to the inside of Bob Beltrami and takes away the lead from Beltrami, as it looks like Cole Woody going to slide up in front of Beltrami probably after this turn coming up here, as it just looks a little bit too sketchy as we see them drive back down into the triangle.
And just like that, Cole Woody back to the lead. He was low as 11th after that round of green flag pit stops. Barnes led a couple of laps. Beltrami led a couple of laps. The 3 of them right now have a 2.5 gap back to 4th place, your current points leader, Bentley Glazer.
And folks, right now we are going to let you all turn it up as you're going to watch Cole Woody, Bob Beltrami, Brian Barnes, and the rest of this amazing field tonight in the Western States Racing League go ahead and make it around this track and boogie boogie. Lap 64 of 107, now lap 65 as Cole Woody, your race leader, crosses the start-finish line in his debut race here with the Way She Goes Western States Racing League. Sorry, slip of the tongue there.
Tomorrow night.
That is tomorrow night. And you know what? So far, Cole Woody has been pretty comfortable out here leading Bob Beltrami, Bentley Glazer, and Brian Barnes, along with Ross Rawlings, rounding out the top 5. Just now we see Rawlings starting to close in on the rear bumper of Brian Barnes. And these drivers tonight, basically all the marbles and all the cards are out of the table here in the desert.
They very much are, as, there's a couple of things that need to happen in the point standings for Bentley Glazer to not come home with his 3rd consecutive championship. Let me just double check a couple of things right now. As bear with me here. Glazer has to finish dead stone last for Kyle McCartney to have a shot at it.
And I guess even that's not possible with Jerry Sterner not having taken the field.
Sterner and Burke both not taking the green, so all Glazer's got to do is just finish the race, and he should be in good shape.
Well, fair enough, but here is Bentley Glazer now working his way up into 2nd position, just about 2 seconds behind Cole Woody. And you know as well as I do, Tony, that 2-second gap between Woody and Glazer probably not going to exist in the 2-second range for very long, as Bentley Glazer is always he's almost zen patient.
Yeah.
The
Crouching Tiger, hidden wheelman.
Yes. I mean, the few races that I've seen him not up front this season, usually Bentley Glazer is at least nearby or in the conversation.
You're not wrong. I think we have yet to really go to a track that he doesn't get around effectively. He's going to need to get a couple spots on McCartney in order to jump him in the points. As coming in tonight, Schmeier was 26 markers back off of McCartney. So Schmeier's got to hope McCartney has trouble. McCartney has to hope Glazer has trouble. Beltrami has to hope everybody in front of him has trouble, as Beltrami was coming in tonight 4th in points. Brian Barnes right there behind Beltrami. Unfortunately, Barnes looks like he's going to be relegated to 5th in the point standings. But right now, Jeff Hollingsworth is about the only one that can really make a good move here tonight to get into the top 5, as he's currently sitting in 6th, only 8 markers behind Brian Barnes.
Absolutely. I know that we were just taking a look at Bob Beltrami in the Beltrami Salami Toyota Tundra, as he is getting passed now by Ross Rawlings, who is working the inside. But I do want to give a tip of the cap to Mr. Bob Beltrami, who has organized this league for the last 23 years and 46 seasons here at the Western States Racing League. Of course, as we've discussed it countless times so far this season, this league has been around since before the iRacing.com servers even had electric to them, as we see Jeff Schmeier in the Double Deuce Reformation Brewery F-150 going down pit road. But, something that I've always been impressed with is that these drivers, for instance, they managed to stay together for 46 seasons. That's a lot of work. And
marriages that don't last that long.
That's exactly right.
Because you're talking 23 years that most of these guys have been racing with each other, going all the way back to the Papyrus days, back when, LAN parties were still a thing when I was in college.
Absolutely. And I guess what had me distracted about Bob Beltrami is the fact with that Beltrami Salami Toyota, we also want to give a deep thank you to Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking for sponsoring this league, week in and week out, and spending time with us in the YouTube live chat. I know that Dean the Fog Crawler and Joni the Teardrop Nanny both probably watching this race right now on YouTube.com as, it was very humbling for Tony and I guess it's appropriate that here on Championship Week, you and I are back together here in the broadcast booth.
Wouldn't miss it.
It was very humbling when, we're always keeping an eye on everybody else and what they're doing on YouTube, but it turns out that this time Dean and Joni were keeping an eye on us, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the support from Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking and all of you, the fans and the viewers, that tune in every week to watch the two of us gab away here at the microphone.
Absolutely. Dean and Joni, longtime supporters of the Esports Broadcasting Network, and you can find them, just go over to YouTube and in the search, type in Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking, and it'll bring you to their channel. You can't miss it. It shows a big cauldron on flames and green lettering that says what they are. Some of the most delicious looking recipes anywhere in a YouTube cooking channel.
And if you are a fan of the Western States Racing League, you would be remiss if you did not at least think about the Beltrami Salami Pizza that they had done special just for this league. And I'll tell you what, it looks delicious, it looks amazing, and I think during the off season I'm going to be getting the old cast iron pot out. So I can, here we are with Paul Woody leading Bentley Glazer. Bentley Glazer now dipping off the track. Paul Woody trying to hold off Ross Rawlings now.
And that is Keith Kelman behind Woody. Ross Rawlings is a second and a half back, but the 07 of Kelman a lap down, so only your top 7 trucks currently on the lead lap.
Absolutely. It looks like Bentley Glazer, Bob Beltrami, Kyle McCartney, and Brian Barnes, those 4 drivers all coming down, all the Toyotas together. Angelo Espo in the number 136 Chevrolet comes down for his pit service. Now Cole Woody, your race leader, coming down pit road. Oh! Spins it coming down pit road and is sideways. I'm guessing. Oh, no. I'm guessing he had a hardware failure.
No. Oh, crap.
What happened? Do you see it?
Yep. Hardware failure is correct, as he just went poof. He is on the hauler right now. So that completely changes the complexion of this race, as Jeff Meyer, who came down on lap 72, now inherits the lead. All-important bonus point for leading a lap for the Double Deuce.
And Schmeier more than glad to accept that bonus point in the Reformation Brewery Double Deuce Ford F-150. And don't look now, but in our YouTube.com live chat, looks like Dean and Joni are now back from Alaska. They just spent 3 weeks in the Inside Passage, so glad you came back just in time for Championship Week here in the Western States Racing League. Dean and Joni, we were just talking about how grateful we are to the way that you have treated Tony and I this season here in the Western States Racing League, and just very thankful for your sponsorship and your support.
And it's been an honor to work with both Dean and Joni for the last few seasons. They were a great supporter of a Wednesday night IndyCar league that we used to highlight here on ESPN. And they've been a big supporter of the Western States Racing League for the past couple of seasons. It's been just an amazing partnership working with them. Thank you both so much for all you've done. As we got a race for 5th starting to really heat up right now. As actually that's a race for 3rd with McCartney, Barnes, and Rawlings going stem to stern.
Absolutely. McCartney has now clawed his way up into 3rd position as he has been fighting relentlessly up 8 positions from where he had qualified. The only other bigger mover than him is Brian Barnes, who is up 10 positions and running 4th. So these drivers definitely skilled evenly here. Of course, you see Brian Barnes on the right side of your screen in that number 4 truck. I'm sorry. I've been doing that all season long. Maybe I'll get it right one of these days.
Put $1 in the coffee fund. But, right now, the earliest anybody came down for, and I'm using this phrase loosely, the money stop, was Will Fletcher back on lap 69. You can just about make it from there. He's going to have to get 40 laps out of this final tank at Go Fast, but Schmeier was last down on 72. Everybody else 77 or 78. So we're in the realm of you can make it from here.
Absolutely, and don't look now, but there are now 24 laps left in the Western States Racing League season number 46 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jeff Schmeier leads the pack here. Last came into pit on lap number 72, so he has got to be due one of these times here, as he is now followed by Bentley Glazer, Kyle McCartney, Brian Barnes, and Ross Rawlings in your top 5.
Rawlings has had a pretty decent run all season long here, currently sitting in 5th. Started outside row number 1 here tonight, but, definitely a good run out of the 91, and he's been an asset to this league since he's joined up. He's been in the mix just about every race so far this season.
No, it's always nice to be in the mix, because even as a driver, I see Brian Barnes getting to the inside of Kyle McCartney now in this battle for 3rd. Looks like these two drivers not willing to give up, as McCartney even wobbles down toward Barnes as they cross the start-finish line with now 22 laps to go at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And Kyle McCartney trying to hold off Brian Barnes, but Brian Barnes keeping the edge on him by just barely a bumper.
Contact,
they make contact. And Brian Barnes goes down the inside. We stay green with 22 to go. We're going to take a look at that fast, and we're under caution.
As Barnes got yeeted coming off. Wow. Here's the good news. They do have a fast repair they can burn.
If I was him, I'd strike a match and burn that sucker.
Torch it up. As, I'm looking at Barnes. He's already smoking, so I think he's already lit it. Oh, he's hand grenaded the engine. Javier Torres.
Now that's they just hit
went
the point.
Onto the concrete. Oh, damn it.
That is something that you never want to see, especially here on Championship Week. But, and he has to tow.
Hats off, though, to Javier Perez Torres, looking to help a guy get back to his pit stall. Javier's one of those guys we don't talk about a lot because he's usually running in the mid-pack. But this has been a complete turnaround this season for that young man.
Absolutely.
And ever since he's climbed behind the wheel of that Bucky's number 17 this season, he has had some good runs, especially at the other mile and a halves that we've gone to this season. He's had quite a few top 10 finishes, and his career is starting to turn around. But here's the thing. Javier Perez Torres, we were talking about iRatings earlier, he's in my neck of the woods for skill level.
And he's up here running like that with these fellas. And, it speaks to his character when he comes up behind, a disabled car and says, here, or a disabled truck. See, there, I did it again. I'll put another $1 in the swear jar. But he says, here, listen, let me be the bigger man here and see if I can help you down pit road.
Unfortunately, they were already onto the concrete portion, so when he got to the back bumper of Barnes, he just ghosted through him, and that you hate to see it, but I mean, hats off to Javier, because that was a very sportsmanlike move to try to help. Hats off to you, sir.
Absolutely, and right now we can see these cars getting ready to come into the back stretch as we see them coming through turn 2 now. And it looks like the lights on the iRacing.com Chevrolet Silverado pace truck still on, so we will have yet another lap of caution here before we get back underway, as we are 19 to go here in the Western States Racing League Championship race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Paul Krumrei and Dennis Fuson both electing to stay out to get one of their laps back. Both those drivers are currently sitting 2 laps down on the field. Angelo Espo sitting rounding out your top 20 is 3 laps down. Brian Barnes still on pit road. I don't think he had his fast repair checked.
Either he didn't have the fast repair checked, or even worse, he's still towing because he was at the beginning of pit road.
That only should have been about a 45-second tow.
Well, I guess it depends on where the tow truck is coming out from and where it has to take you to.
Well, no, just going down pit road, that's a 45-second tow in iRacing, no matter what track you're at. Down and away. As the lights go out on the pace truck, coming into tonight, your points leader, Bentley Glazer, going to be starting inside row number 1. Jeff Schmeier in the double deuce sitting outside row 1. Ross Rawlings, Bob Beltrami, and Rob Gall round out your top 5. Jeff Hollingsworth up in 6th. Wayne Hutchinson, Will Fletcher, Julian Ricci, and Charles Woods round out your top 10, as we are going to get a restart on 17 to go.
Absolutely, and as we make our way down the Nellis straightaway here on the backstretch at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, you are watching what has to be the Rembrandt of fixed setup races right now in Bentley Glazer. I mean, this gentleman here just has every week been absolutely lights out, on these fixed setup races. Sorry, all of a sudden it's like my brain just disconnected. But, in a fixed setup race, this is all about driver skill. But right now, speaking of skill, the man in the stand has the green flag in his hand. He reaches up. Bentley Glazer takes off. And we are back green flag racing with now 17 to go at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Jeff Schmeier on the top side getting a decent getaway, but here comes the 91 of Ross Rawlings side by side through 1 and 2. Glued together at the hip. Here comes Rob Gall as well, looking to get his breakthrough this season. Currently sits inside the top 5, as Rawlings still giving Schmeier all he can handle. Schmeier trying to use that second lane for momentum as Rawlings gets into the apron and goes through the grass.
He gets down into the grass, but gets just onto the apron, keeps it straight, keeps it moving, as we are 16 to go now. That was definitely an ill-advised move. We're going to take a look at that real quick.
Caught the apron. As they're doing the Indy Snake down the back straightaway here at Vegas, Bentley Glazer trying to break the draft of Jeff Schmeier. Schmeier has his rearview mirror filled with the 14 of Bob Beltrami as they come down 15 laps to go. Still anybody's race. The question is, what's going to happen with those top 3, as this could be big for the final season point standings. As Schmeier looks to the inside, down the Nellis back straightaway. He's got Beltrami for drafting help. Throws it to the inside in turn number 3. Glazer caught on the high side, about to get freight trained. Schmeier back to the point. Beltrami looking to follow him through. Beltrami with a half a truck length to the good over Glazer right now. Finally gets the clear coming through the trial.
He absolutely does, and Beltrami able to now squeeze himself. This is now a Beltrami salami sandwich between Jeff Schmeier and Bentley Glazer, as these 3 drivers all season long have run together And, usually it's kind of a little bit different where Bentley Glazer is usually in front of Beltrami and Schmeier behind. But right now, I guess all bets are off, no pun intended, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as Ross Rawlings in the number 91 back here must have fire in his veins as he just laid down the fastest lap of the evening at 30.61, Tony.
Good grief.
He just gets faster.
Here's the thing at the front of this piece. With Bentley Glazer running in third, he knows he doesn't need to win the race to clinch his third straight championship. Would he like to? Absolutely. You always want to go out on top. But he's racing smart right now. And he's got his teammate behind him, and the top four of Schmeier, Beltrami, Glazer, and Hollingsworth throw a blanket over him as they got a quarter second to the good over Will Fletcher. And we've seen Fletcher be strong on new tires, but older tires not so much, as Charles Woods, your biggest mover in the top 10 right now, as he is up 9 looking for one more on Rob Gall.
Absolutely, and here he is working the inside of Rob Gall in the number 31, and it looks like he's going to get a little bit of help from Wayne Hutchison, as Wayne Hutchison is able to push Charles Woods with that aero package just in front of the 31 Chevrolet from Fujifilm of Rob Gall. I'm sorry. My goodness. It's a terrible night, isn't it, for reading? But right now, we are now inviting a fourth driver into this battle for the lead as Jeff Hollingsworth gets himself into this mess. And now it's a Hollingsworth-Beltrami salami sandwich between Jeff Schmeier and Bentley Glazer.
Beltrami giving Schmeier all he can handle right now. 10 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And, Dave, we've talked about all the racing that has gone on here in Vegas. You figure they've got this beautiful facility. Just outside of Turn 1 is the bull ring here. A gorgeous 3/8 mile. You want to talk about jet fighters in a gymnasium, that's the bull ring. Plus, we've got the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and the 4-wide strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
It sounds like they burn a lot of racing fuel here,
yeah, a lot of nitromethane on 4-wide week.
I'll tell you what, I am impressed with the facility itself and with the racing that we have going on. It looks like Beltrami just had gotten himself a little wobbly behind Jeff Schmeier in the double deuce. Jeff Hollingsworth now running in third with Bentley Glazer still hanging out in fourth right now.
Beltrami getting a little bit of aero push coming through 3 and 4. Gets it collected back up in the slipstream now as they come down the Nellis back straightaway. 8 laps to go. It'll be 7 at the stripe. Schmeier, Beltrami, Hollingsworth, Glazer, your top 4 right now. As Glazer's starting to fade just a little bit off those top 3. And Charles Woods up 10 right now. Julian Ricci currently sitting in 8th, up 11.
I'll tell you what, these drivers, it seems like many of them didn't turn on their full potential until the middle of the season, but the ones that did have really impressed me week after week. Julian Ricci, one of those drivers. Then we were just talking about, I just lost his name.
APT.
Nope.
Javier Perez Torres.
That's the one, yes.
JPT, sitting in 10th right now. Great run out of the 17. Great run out of the 17 tonight.
Yeah, these drivers, we've seen them develop all season long. You get used to racing with the same guys or in the same environment week after week, night after night, and finally you feel like you've got their number.
Battle for second hot and heavy as Schmeier was doing the Indy Snake down the back straightaway. Hollingsworth almost took the nose off Beltrami's 14, as now Beltrami under heavy pressure from Bentley Glazer on the top side. In an OGR salami sandwich right now for second, third, and fourth. You got a beer leading it and a Beltrami salami sandwich behind it.
Basically, everybody's breath is going to be
bad. I'm worried about what's going to come out the other end.
Oh, I am not afraid.
Your poor wife. As Glazer now works the inside of Beltrami. Beltrami trying to keep the momentum up on the top side. Schmeier and Hollingsworth working the lead right now. 4 laps to go. Hollingsworth looks to the inside going through 1 and 2.
Hollingsworth on the inside of 1 and 2. As Tony just said, right now looking to the left rear of the double deuce driven by Jeff Schmeier. Almost looks like Hollingsworth backed off intentionally there, but there's nobody backing off back here, as it looks like William Fletcher and Bentley Glazer now going to go at it. It seems like everybody that Bentley Glazer is near right now is taking advantage of the fact that those tires must be cooked now, as he hasn't been in since lap number 87, and there are now 3 laps to go, which just seem to have completely evaporated.
It absolutely has, as Schmeier shows the way. Hollingsworth about a truck length and a half back off of him. Beltrami about 4 truck lengths back off this battle for the lead, as Schmeier in control, in the clean air, can put that Reformation Brewery F-150 wherever he wants to. 2 laps to go, 3 miles to get it done.
I'll tell you what, it's looking absolutely fantastic tonight. I mean, you know, these drivers all week long have been practicing in the fixed setup for this race. They had 2 hours of practice before this race tonight. And, you know, nobody is disappointed whatsoever, you know, as far as the way this is supposed to look.
Coming off of turn number 4 through the tri-oval. White flag in the air. We are racing back to checkers as Schmeier starts to pull a little bit of a gap on Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth has 1.5 miles to get it done, and he's running out of time. Schmeier just has to keep it clean down the back straightaway. Hollingsworth not close enough to make anything happen. Beltrami, though, under heavy pressure from Bentley Glazer as they go into turn 3 for the final time. Schmeier in command as they come off of turn number 4 and into the tri-oval. Jeff Schmeier wins the battle. Bentley Glazer wins the war.
And I'll tell you what, these drivers have got to be worn out tonight, as this was a hard-fought battle all season long, and it ends with Bentley Glazer atop the pile in your point standings, but Jeff Schmeier winning the battle, as you had just mentioned, Tony. I mean, just an amazing season. What a great championship, and it's well-deserved by Bentley Glazer.
Yeah, very much so. Is coming to the stripe. Kyle McCartney crashed coming across the line as he got into it with the 16 of David Weaver coming off of 4, and then Brian Barnes absolutely nowhere to go, absolutely annihilates the 18. Yikes.
Congratulations all around for Bentley Glazer, as I expect to see him come out here and celebrate a little bit here as we are waiting for these drivers to come in.
No, he's gone into the pits.
Interesting. Very humble. Jeff Schmeier, on the other hand, the other end of the spectrum, as he is spinning around like a top.
Completely annihilating the turf here in the infield at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Burning them down. Hard-fought victory for that Reformation Brewery number 22. And it's been a season of ups and downs for Schmeier. So for him to come home with a victory here tonight in the season finale, that's got to bode good for going into next season for him. And Bentley Glazer announcing in the chat. Bentley Glazer in the in-sim chatter. Thank you, everyone. Really enjoyed racing with you all. So very humble from your season 46 champion here tonight. As let's talk to our race winner, driver of the number 22 Reformation Brewery Ford F-150. Congratulations on winning at Vegas, Jeff Schmeier.
Thank you so much. A lot of that credit goes to Bob. He protected my backside for a lot of the end of that race. And yeah, just was able to keep that clean air, and it was a doozy.
Yeah, absolutely. But as soon as you got into the clean air, you were definitely one of the trucks to beat. Talk us through what was going through your mind when that one and only caution came out here tonight.
I'm I'm not quite sure because after I had, took the lead, I thought I would need a caution because I had done a lot of I had covered a lot of time with that undercut, but once I got into clean air, they weren't catching me as fast. So at that point, I wasn't really sure uh, if Bentley was going to be able to catch me or not. But either way, I thought I had a better chance if we did get a caution. So yeah, I think the caution definitely helped me.
It did. It looked like it did help a little bit, but Jeff. I mean, it's been a great season for you. Coming home third in points. I mean, all things considered, 3 wins on the season. You've had a good season.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think points wise, this is probably the most points I've scored in a season. Yeah, it's definitely the most consistent season I've had, which is crazy considering I still only came in third place in points. So I'm gonna have to turn those top 10s into top 5s if I'm ever gonna be able to catch Mr. Bentley up then.
Well, you definitely gave him a run for his money through at least the last half of this season. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but really turned it around at the halfway marker. But Jeff, again, congratulations on winning here at Vegas. Who do you need to thank for not only the race but for the season?
Well, first out, I'll give a shout out to Reformation Brewery for sponsoring my car. Next season's going to be a new brewery. Do a new brewery every year. So say goodbye to this pretty truck and to a new pretty truck, and then and of course I got to thank my fan club, my mom and my dad and my sister. They're all watching tonight, and of course my beautiful girlfriend Beth. I love you guys.
And if you're looking for a new brewery for next season, might I suggest Middle Ages out of Syracuse, New York? I would love to see a Wailing Wench truck out on track.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. I have a few of them in mind, so.
All right, Jeff, congratulations on the victory here tonight. We will see you next season out on track.
All right, thanks. See you next season.
So that was Jeff Meyer, and unfortunately, we don't have Bentley Glazer in the chat. So, Dave, what do you say we go to the chief cook and bottle washer of the Western States Racing League, Bob Beltrami?
That's me. How you guys doing tonight?
Bob, absolutely great to have you in with us. I mean, we're doing good up here. How are you down there? Just another sigh of relief for another successful season here in the Western States Racing League.
Yeah, it was a great fun season and a pretty challenging points race and a lot of challenging drivers. I'm still just wore out from what just happened. Holy cow. I hope we put on a good show for y'all.
Every week has always
absolutely.
been... Oh, sorry about that. Every week has been an absolute thrill, and I know that I had stepped away for a few weeks as you guys were hanging out with Mike DeMoney, and I kind of felt like a part of me was missing, when I wasn't sitting here with Tony watching you guys. I mean, just such, from stem to stern, such a great league, Bob.
Well, it's all about the drivers. These guys are patient and mature, and they enjoy racing. They don't like running under caution, and so sometimes you got to take your foot off that loud pedal a little more than maybe you'd like to, and it just ends up with good, clean, fun racing, and that's what we're all about.
Hats off to you, Bob, for putting this group together for 23 consecutive seasons. That is a feat in itself, my friend, because I mean, I know I've been an admin in some leagues, and a lot of times it's like trying to herd squirrels.
Yeah, it makes me feel old to realize we're coming up on our 25 years. Just what is that going to be, about 9 months away? Or I don't want to even think about the math at this point. But boy, oh boy, is that time flies, eh?
Very much so.
It absolutely flies. I mean, I've only been here since about February, and these last 4 months have whipped by. And I mean, it's even interesting to see fellas like, Carl Burke, who ran in a couple of special races with SRM, on a Saturday night. I mean, to see the guys from your league going out there and competing against other people, when I see those names pop up on leaderboards, I get excited.
Yeah, me too. It's fun watching the guys. I mean, there are several different leagues that I think you can see represented in the WSRL, and it's just neat seeing the guys out there doing the competition thing in other places and doing well and sticking with us. And it's a cool group of guys. We're really fortunate, and I'm really thankful.
Bob,
Absolutely.
it's absolutely been a treat to be able to broadcast season 46 of the Western States Racing League. Thank you so much for choosing the Esports Broadcasting Network to be your broadcast partner.
Well, we sure appreciate you guys' time, and we're hoping to continue things into the foreseeable future with y'all.
Absolutely, my friend, and we will be here every step of the way.
Sounds great. You guys have a great evening.
You too, Bob.
You too, Bob. And it looks like Bentley Glazer has finally gotten into the waiting room.
As we have the season 46 champion joining us now, Bentley Glazer. Didn't necessarily win the battle, but you sure as hell did win the war. Congratulations.
Thanks, and yeah, that race was amazing. That's probably the best race we had the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, just throw a blanket over your top 5 all night long, and you guys were just slugging it out like two kids in the back of a station wagon on a summer vacation.
Yeah, in that last run, I think Kyle and Brian were going to catch us, and they probably would have passed me for sure, and hopefully just by them racing, I'd be able to do something, but caution came out, changed everything. So yeah, it's been a great season, just had really good luck. And yeah, it's been great.
Dave, you got anything for our champion?
Now, listen here, champ. Here's the deal. Since I came in here in about February with Tony told me that there were a couple of people that were the quote-unquote usual suspects, and I got to tell you, your name was top of the list, and it has been the top of the list since then. I mean, you have outmuscled all of these other drivers all season long. I mean, what is your secret to being able to be so successful so consistently in a fixed setup league?
I think patience is pretty important. Just taking what you get. I just wasn't very fast on the long run. Like, I could hold it wide open like everybody else, but it seemed like people would pull away from me. But on the long run, I was pretty much hanging on the bottom. So yeah, it's just about being patient, because there at the start, I was probably about 7th and not really making much headway until about lap 30 or so.
Yeah, I mean, it took you a little while to get some traction underneath you. I mean, you still finished top 5 regardless, but, what you have just managed to do is amazing. So before we cut you loose from this championship season, is there anybody that you need to tip your cap to?
All my teammates at OGR, Bob Beltrame for putting on this league. It's a great league, super competitive, and you guys for broadcasting, as always. And then, yeah, that's about it. Everybody for racing. It's been just a great time here.
Congratulations, Bentley. Hard-fought victory this season. Looking forward to seeing what you can do in season 47.
Yep, look forward to it. See ya.
That was our champion, Bentley Glazer. And joining us now, the man who finished second in tonight, but did steal a top 5 in the season-ending points, Jeff Hollingsworth. Congratulations on the podium here tonight, cementing a top 5 in the season-ending points battle.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pat. How you doing? What's up, Dave?
Living the dream, my friend.
What's
living
up,
the
Jeff?
dream. But Jeff, we were talking earlier, about the men and women that you support on your truck. You and, for that matter, most of the OGR team running liveries that have to do with Veterans Affairs, and the Armed Forces. We do want to take this moment to thank you for your service as a United States Coast Guard retiree.
It's nice. I appreciate you, man. I was proud to serve. It was a great career, good people.
Absolutely. But Jeff, what a season it has been. The ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. If there's anything you could have done different this season, what would you think it would have been?
I don't know. I mean, like you said, I was just figuring out I did finish 5th and I got 1W, but I had a point there where I built a new computer and it had some kind of problem with my wheels. So there's a couple of races where I was out early because it just KO'd the wheel and couldn't race. So I just had a few bad races, got caught up in a few things like everybody else. But I don't know. Just I guess what I could say is try to be more like Bentley.
Hey, fair enough, considering that your teammate in OGR did win his 3rd consecutive championship here tonight. But Jeff, season 47 right around the corner. Safe to assume that we are going to see you in the entirety of OGR back for season 47?
Oh yes, sir. We this is one of our favorite leagues. We run Tuesday and Fridays, and definitely be back. Bob puts on a good deal. That's why we're here. We have fun racing with these guys, and we've all been together a while. Like I always say when I get interviewed, think about it. We had 1 caution tonight, and
That's impressive.
good races, man. Really good races, good people, good drivers.
Absolutely. But Jeff, who do you need to thank for the season here as we bring it to a close?
First and foremost, I want to thank Bob for putting this on all these years, letting us enjoy this. And second, I want to shout out to Bentley for winning that 3rd championship. He's top of the cup, and like I said, if we all race more like Bentley, we wouldn't have any problems. Jeff Smyer for his win, Bob on his podium, all of my teammates. Tonight we had me, Charlie, Paul, Bentley, and Freddie in there. We had a few that were missing, but we still had a good time, and you guys for putting on the show. Can't wait to watch it. I watch it every time, and look forward to seeing you guys next season too.
All right, Jeff, congratulations on the 5th place in the point standings and the podium here tonight at Vegas. We will see you at the season opener in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. Y'all be safe. God bless.
So, Dave, we've got another one in the books. What are your thoughts as the season comes to a close now?
Well, my thoughts are already turning toward the opening for next season here in the Western States Racing League. I mean, Tony, this is my first year with the Western States Racing League, and I got to tell you, I have never been as impressed by a group of race car drivers as I've been with these fellas. I mean, just amazing. And as we're looking forward now to the next season, July 5th, we open at Kentucky. And, I'm expecting to see the usual suspects that you told me about months ago back atop the leaderboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas, a very similar track to here at Vegas, one of those sister cookie cutter tracks, but it does race a little bit differently there in the Bluegrass State. But yeah, I'm so much looking forward to that July 5th start. Coming right out of the holiday, I expect to see a lot of patriotic paint schemes on trucks, including from our Canadian contingent of Eric Woods and Keith Kelman, because Canada Day is July 3rd, and then Independence Day in the United States, or National Treason Day in the UK, as they call it, happens on July 4th.
Absolutely. So, to wrap it all up, to be honest with you, Tony, I could not be happier to have been invited here in the broadcast booth and to hang out with you. So, and we do want to make sure that we thank one more time our wonderful sponsors, Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking, over on YouTube.com. Check out Dean the Fog Crawler and Joni the Teardrop Nanny, as they have some amazing recipes over there that you can fill your stomach with, especially as you are looking forward to those summertime cookouts and things. You might as well crank up the fire pit once it gets, dark outside. Get that cast iron cookware all heated up. But for myself and everybody else here at ESPN, Tony, take us home.
Well, for Mr. Dave Regal in the production truck on the ones and twos, It's been a great season working with you, sir. Mike DeMonet, who is off tonight, who has also been on the ones and twos in the production truck. Thank you so much. Angel Santiago, who is going to be joining the broadcast team next season, I believe. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Tuesday evenings. This is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life, especially over this next summer, whatever you do, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.